Welcome back to My Voice is a Weapon podcast. I'm your host, Rod Grum. Happy to be back here after a week. It's been just over a week since I did the podcast last time. So today I'm here and I want to talk about something that is kind of a tough subject for most of us. And the subject is money. For a lot of people, the subject of money can be very boring, so I'm going to try to do something a little bit different here. I'm not going to talk about money just financially or how to save or no, I'm going to be more specific about why, at least I think that we are finally beginning to understand how money works and how to use money to our benefit. Okay, that's the subject of today, and why Bitcoin was essential for us to finally start to find out how money really works, because it opened up a door that we had locked for many years, and it was very important for us to finally discover that the door even existed and come in and start to find out all of these possibilities that we have with money that we didn't know up until now because we weren't educated about money the proper way. And now we're finally starting. This is just the beginning. We're still a long way to finally start to understand what money is, what it represents, and how to work with money toward our benefit. So one of the things that we need to understand is, up until recently, just a few years ago, I'm not talking even about 10 years ago, okay? Before Bitcoin, we had this culture. We were taught to grow up and work for a company, get a certain type of salary, sort of minimal wage kind of salary, something that is not a lot but is enough for us to survive. Now, the problem with that is that we were ingrained into that money culture where we were taught by business people who controlled the markets and corporations who controlled the markets to work for them for a certain type of salary that gave us certain rights as well, rights for access to it gave us access to Social Security. It gave us access to doctors. It gave us access, but it also gave us something that is not very good, which is it gave us this very impractical thing, that is, we have to work and save money and not waste our money in other things and just save money with a salary that really, at the end, when we retire and we no longer have to work, we will be able to survive and live on those savings. But the problem is, you have a whole life that you worked, right? Your adult life mostly, you worked, and you avoided doing certain things because you had to save your money, because you were in this culture that, I can't enjoy my life too much because I have to do this and I have to save this money so that I can enjoy life in a better way later. But the problem is, with since 2008, we've been in this periods where there's a bunch of different financial and economical crises all around the world that made us suffer, because a lot of us Well, we worked, then we got fired, then we had to look for new jobs. A lot of people even exchanging the fields of what they used to do before to work in other fields that had nothing to do, which means probably their salary dry rates dropped along with the lifestyle that they had with the previous job. And also, a lot of people stayed on out of the workforce for a long period of time, which of course gives you even more problems, which means you've been you were forced to use those savings before you were supposed to, so you had to go back, draw the line, and start from zero many times. And now that we realize that that system is starting to break completely, we're finally at a point where we're realizing that money means that you have to know how to use it, and you have to understand that money is used with certain risks, and you have to know that every time you have that money, you need to know what to do with it. You have to be able to risk and spend a certain quantity of money and understand that most times it's going to be a fail, that you're going to lose a part of that money. But in retrospect, once you start understanding how to work your money better, you know that there's a rate of success in that expenditure, and that you will go back to that place, and if it works, it's gonna keep on moving forward, it's gonna grow, and the investment you made will have a return that will be profitable for you. So people are starting to realize that maybe we don't need to work as hard anymore for a fixed salary rate that doesn't really work for anybody. But we're starting to enter an era where we can actually produce our own money and invest ourselves, because let's not forget, not very long ago, investors were only the rich people. Now we have investors of all walks of life, which is a new pattern now, because thanks to Bitcoin, it opened up a bunch of doors for young people to combine working a job and being able to use a certain quantity of money to invest in certain things. And a lot of them are having success in that. So maybe we're going the right direction. Okay? And I think that is a plus for everyone. We need to start walking in that direction, not rely only on working for a company and expecting to have a salary that is minimal wage and that it doesn't promise us anything. We're finally getting to a place where even through a bunch of crises, we're in the middle of a pandemic, hopefully not for very long, but we're still in the pandemic, right? Maybe some countries are exiting the pandemic earlier, like the United States seems to finally start to normalize and having events again, and people are going outside, and you don't have to wear a mask as long as anymore, or you know, you only use the mask inside. When you're outside, you don't have to. And I think that's important. I think that it is crucial that we're redefining money for future generations, because we don't know how the labor market will be in 10, 15, 20 years, because we are seeing how difficult things are in the labor market right now. It's terrible. Okay, there's a lot of people who lost their jobs, people lost their businesses, and we need to look forward with some hope. And I really believe that this is the right path. We're finally riding the way to how money works, because before, only the people who are in those corporations knew how to do that. They're the ones who are working the money, and we're the ones that are working for the money, right? So we need to change that. It's going to be a slow process, but it already began, okay? We already started. We're on the right path. And I think it's very important that we continue to grow and to start to do the fruition to use money properly. And look, there are many possibilities out there. Maybe Bitcoin is not for you. I don't know. I don't know if it's for me because I haven't experienced working with Bitcoin yet. Maybe someday. I'm kind of sketch on that because I don't know too much about it, but maybe it is for you, maybe it isn't. But be certain that in the near future, Bitcoin is going to start to make more of a presence, and maybe people need to start understand that it will be important to have Bitcoin, you know. Even more so if I think this idea of exchanging money from, exchanging currency from one country to another will start to disappear thanks to Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies that are starting to have some success right now. So that's what I wanted to talk about here. I think it's a very interesting way to look at the money subject, because we're finally breaking away from that only way to view money, which is, in order for me to get money, I have to work for someone, and that someone will pay me for what I do. No, there's many other ways to make money that we didn't realize up until now, or, usually if you didn't want to work, the only way you thought about making money was, okay, I'm going to have to open my own business. But that means that you also have to spend a bunch of money, and you have to give yourself a salary, and your staff, the people that you hire to work for you, will have to get a salary as well, which means what you could earn is probably get reducted by all those expenditures that you're going to have in order for you to be able to have a business, because you're going to spend money to earn money. But now there are other ways. Maybe you don't need to hire people. Maybe you can work in a business where you work alone, or maybe you don't have to hire people. You only need to hire a service, which means instead of having to pay someone a salary, you pay them for a service for, let's say, you bring up 2-3 people to clean your building for a month, and once every week or twice every week, right? So you bring someone to clean your office and you pay them for the service, and then maybe you decide that maybe you'll call somebody else next time because it's cheaper or because they work better, So there are many ways where we are starting to realize that hiring someone may not be necessary anymore. We're starting to change the ways of the system, and we're more indulged now in the idea of hiring a service instead of hiring someone to work for you for a certain extended period of time that maybe you don't know if that person is going to be reliable. You don't know if you're going to be able, because it depends on how you make money with the business, if you're going to be able to keep that person working for you. Instead, if you hire a service instead of the person, you hire what that person does specifically, then you have a better chance of having that person working, paying them for the service alone. And you avoid spending more money in having to sign a contract and giving them a social security and all of that type of stuff. So I really believe that we are finally getting into we're changing how money works for us. We're finally getting there, but we are still in a long way to understand how to do it the best way possible, that it's beneficial for all of us, the usual blue collar, white collar worker. You know what I'm talking about. So that's what I wanted to come on out here and say. I hope it was useful. I hope you all agree with me. If anybody else has different ideas, they're welcome. Please keep listening to the podcast. I will do my best to come here more often and be on podcast at least twice a week. Right now things are a little bit insane here. That's why I wasn't able to come earlier in this week. But hey, it's Sunday, and that's all I've got for today. I hope you enjoy, and that's it. I see you folks next time. Thank you very much as always, and till next time, guys.